So there's many great places that you can hire people to create either voiceovers or in this case for this video graphics and graphic overlays on top of your videos that are high quality, but yet these people are still affordable. One of my favorite places, like I've covered in other lectures, is onlinejobs.ph. Now, Upwork is clearly another one of my favorites, but I do primarily use onlinejobs.ph over Upwork. Now, in one of the previous ones, I've talked about how you can utilize somewhere like Fiverr to find somebody to do whiteboard animations for you very, very cheap. And I still 100% believe in that method. I think that whiteboard animations in a lot of ways give you the most bang for your buck money-wise, but also graphic-wise too on your videos, because you can get good whiteboard animations done for $5 to $10, sometimes $15 if it's a little bit longer of a video. And of course, you can pay a lot more for video graphics that are whiteboard animations, but you don't need to if you look through a lot of the Fiverr gigs. You can find them very, very cheap. Those people will still do high quality designs. And so for that reason, I still recommend that to a lot of people. That is probably the best way that you can get started, because you can find high quality people to do good work for you with whiteboard animation pretty cheap on Fiverr and on onlinejobs.ph if you want to train somebody. But if you're going the graphics route, right? Like you want like video overlay graphics, like you'll see here with like some stock footage or some overlaid videos that kind of are a little bit more captivating if they're good at it, Fiverr can also be another great place to find them. However, that said, you'll need to sort through a bunch of people and test a bunch of people so that you can figure out who, for the right price, can actually do a good job. Now, obviously, in a perfect world, you're going to want somebody as cheap as potentially possible that can still do a great video graphics overlay. However, you do need to find that sweet spot, because typically if you're finding somebody that's relatively cheap, like $5 to $10, sometimes even $15, they don't always do the best job, or they're not the best at video graphic overlays. However, on the other end of that spectrum, you're not always going to want to find somebody that's going to charge you $100 for a video graphic overlay, especially when you're starting, even though they might do a phenomenal job. And so you need to find that sweet spot of somebody that's charging like $15 to $30 roughly that can do a decent job. And you can find them on Fiverr if you search for something like YouTube Cash Cow or YouTube Faceless Channel Editor, and something within the niche you can sort through. Find people that are like $10 to $30 roughly, test like a few different people and see who does a good job for their price and who doesn't. And then slowly as you do that, probably with like 3 to 10 different gigs, you can find somebody that's relatively cheap, does a good job for you. And I'm going to show you examples of how I was able to do this in my own business. And then once that happens and you do a few gigs with them, you've paid them a few times, you can bring them on full time and take them off of Fiverr. And an easy way to do that is when you're giving them the video script or you're giving them the voiceover, just add an extra attachment so it's not messages on Fiverr so Fiverr can scan them. You add an extra attachment that says, hey, if you want to work with me directly, I'll pay you, and pay them like $5 more than they're charging on Fiverr. And it's really advantageous for them because they're going to get paid a little bit more. They're also going to get paid faster because not only are you paying them $5 more, but Fiverr's not also taking that fee out of their gig. And Fiverr waits 2 weeks to pay them roughly, and you're going to pay them right after they deliver. So they're getting paid more, they're not getting the fee taken out, and they're getting paid immediately upon delivery of the actual video instead of having to wait 2 weeks later to get the actual payout from Fiverr. So it's a no-brainer for most people that are doing this. Every once in a while, you'll find somebody that doesn't want to do it because they want to continue to grow their gig on Fiverr, and that's totally fine. You can continue to then order that gig on Fiverr while you look for somebody else to bring on full time. But most people will do that, and obviously this is advantageous for you because you take them off Fiverr so that nobody else can order from them and then take their time up because you're going to utilize them full time. You also build a relationship with this person long term so they can continue to work for you and continue to produce these edits. And on top of that, if you continue to just order their Fiverr gig, they're going to become higher rated, more in demand, and slowly they're going to raise the price on you. Now, that might not happen for a month or two, but I promise you it will happen if you only stick with their Fiverr gigs. So you don't want to do that. Eventually, you want to try to bring them on full time and take them off of Fiverr. So I would just sort through some of these people. I would test them, right? Like I would make a video script. I would have a voiceover for it. And then I would test like 5 to 10 of these people or 3 to 10 of these people and find out who is doing a good job for the specific price, right? So a perfect example of this is one that I ordered here, and you can see how much I believe in this because on my actual second channel, I've been playing around with this, and I'm uploading a lot of faceless YouTube videos from my one editor who's doing a good job relatively cheaply. So this is an example of a bad Fiverr gig that I ordered, and you can see it's a video titled How I Lost $5,000 Launching an Amazon Private Label Product. So we're just going to watch like 20 seconds of this and I'll show you what I mean.
My entrepreneurial journey, I eagerly dove into the world of Amazon private label products, fueled by the promise of success and financial freedom. Little did I know that one of my first ventures would result in a painful lesson, costing me over $5,000. Now,
So as you can see, this person's just kind of using stock footage, which isn't necessarily always the worst thing, especially when you're starting, because you're not really going to know what to look for based on this person using stock footage is a lot better than, this person using stock footage, right? Typically, they're all going to use stock footage for the most part, but the better ones are going to do a better job of transitioning. They're going to use shorter bits of stock footage. They're going to use more relevant bits of stock footage, and it's just going to look better. And on top of this, this person actually made a mistake here when they're writing. You can tell that they clearly don't speak the same language fluently, which is also totally fine. But when I'm saying $5,000 and $500 pops up on the screen with the money sign on the wrong side, that's clearly an issue. It's not a good look, right? So let's play a little bit more of this video and I'll show you what I mean.
Business. Their stories ignited my ambition, and I believe that it could be my path to also becoming a self-made millionaire, finding a unique market opportunity. Armed with determination.
So you can see there's really no change here in the stock footage when I'm having different inflections in my voice, right? When I'm bringing up different topics. And while the stock footage does kind of fit with like the entrepreneurial and make money online type of stuff, it doesn't really fit with what I'm saying. So this person just kind of tried to piece together stock footage to fit the script, but it isn't really that great of a job. And I ended up spending, as you can see here, $13.30 on this gig. So I'm pretty sure this was a $10 gig with some fees attached. And so you kind of get what you pay for, right? This person didn't do the worst job in the world, but they clearly did not do the best. Now, let me show you an example of one that the guy that I actually brought on full time for my second channel to kind of try this out, who's also doing edits on one of my faceless channels as well. And this is what he did, right? And this guy was only $20. So the first guy was $10. This guy I found on Fiverr for a $20 gig. I brought him off of Fiverr, paying him $20 every single time he does a video for me. You can see the videos are usually they're like 3.5 to 4 minutes long, so it's nothing crazy. But he gets $20 directly via PayPal when he delivers a video after I give him the video script and the voiceover. So this is an example of a faceless video edit that he did for my second channel, Brian Garrett 2. It's clearly on Etsy and like sales strategies on Etsy, but watch how much of a better job he does with this than the last guy. Yes, he still uses stock footage, but he adds transitions in there, he has words in there, and it flows a little bit better.
My journey with Etsy print on demand began approximately 6 months ago, and it's been an incredible experience so far.
So literally, this is an example of the same exact stock footage that the last guy used, right? But this one flows so much better. As you can see, he's got words that pop up on the bottom of the screen. He had Etsy kind of floating in the beginning, so it was a little bit more fitting. If we go like later on in the video, you can also see he's using like bits of Etsy. If you can kind of see that, it might be a little tough for you. He's using bits of Etsy like graphic designs and like showing Etsy's platform. In one part of the video, he actually pulls up an ad snapshot from like an Etsy actual seller. So he did a really good job of finding clips here that fitted a little bit better. Let's keep playing it.
When I first started, I had minimal knowledge about creating designs or how the Etsy platform worked much at all. Surprisingly, for my initial 100 sales or so, I relied solely on organic traffic without running any ads at all. However, after hearing about the amazing performance of Etsy ads for other sellers in the print-on-demand and also digital art space, I decided to finally give them a try. In the beginning, I followed the advice of so many and ran a simple short conversions campaign. To do this, I went to the marketing section on the...
See how he literally went and recorded this and then figured out where to actually go and then put that in there, right? He went out of his way, or he found a video that already went out of their way to do it and show it on the screen. He also changes the stock footage a lot more frequently, and he even had a section in here right here where he wrote out, as we can see here, like, I'm going to play it again for you, where he wrote out exactly what I was saying to kind of change it up a bit. Watch it again.
Them a try. In the beginning, I followed the advice of so many and ran.
See how he popped words up on the screen there? Now let's flash to a different part of the video and I'll show you a little bit more.
Of ad spend without ever getting any conversions, I'll remove that from the original campaign. And that will ensure that my ad budget is utilized effectively and it maximizes the opportunities for products with better conversion rates and ultimately more profit. My journey in Etsy print on demand has been a learning process for sure, and I've discovered the importance of targeted advertising fairly recently. But instead of running ads for all my listings, I now focus on promoting products that I know already sold organically.
See how much better that is? This guy completely nailed this, and again, he was only $20 per video when I brought him on full time. So you can still use Fiverr to find people like this. You just need to know what to search for, and then you need to test a bunch of different people to find somebody that can actually do a good job for that price. I wouldn't go super expensive because obviously those people are going to do a good job, but when you're starting, you don't want to spend a lot of money. You don't want to spend $50. You don't want to spend $100 on a video when you're not sure you're going to get that ROI back fast enough. You also don't really want to spend like $5 or $10 because most of the time, not always, but most of the time, the people that are that cheap are not going to do a good job for you. So you kind of want to find a sweet spot in the middle, test a bunch of those people, and then you'll see some people that do like a terrible job and you're like, I would never hire this person. You'll see some people that do like an okay job, kind of like the last guy, but like it still isn't going to be a captivating video. It's still not going to do a good job. And then you'll find somebody like this that does a great job for that price. And yeah, if you bought somebody that was like $100, they would do a better job, but this guy's only charging $20 per video, so I can get 5 videos that are very, very good like this for the price of one person charging $100. So play around with it. This is exactly what I recommend that you do. Whether you go with onlinejobs.ph and you train somebody directly and slowly they get better and better, that's a great way as well. Obviously, you can find people on Upwork as well. And obviously, you can go the whiteboard animation route as well. That's another phenomenal method that I recommend that you test out because you can find relatively cheap people that can do a good job. Those videos are still captivating enough if people are watching them, and you can find great success with that. But if you want to go the video graphics route, this is the method and this is the strategy that I recommend for you.